Hello, beautiful human. Princess India here, just to give you a quick little disclaimer while I, cleanse my cards and things. So the reading that is after this message, I'm considering it a bonus. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know if Pisces people would even, feel right about me saying that it's a bonus. But it's a very specific message that hijacked what was supposed to be the Pisces soul session. And the message was just very, very specific. I don't expect all Pisces people to, oh, good Lord, I'm about to start a fire. I don't know what is happening in America. But I don't expect all Pisces people to relate to this. Oh, look at that. It's my Sag bestie. I mean, my Sag bestie, my Scorpio bestie. Anywho, I don't expect all Pisces people to relate to this in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I just feel the message was so intense. Someone out there needs to hear it. I don't know if it's your auntie, grandma, cousin, neighbor. I have no idea. But I felt that it was imperative for me to put it out for the simple fact that it came out the way that it did. So I'm going to do a totally different Pisces reading. So I just decided to post this for whoever it is that needs it. So enjoy it if you can. It's a doozy. Love your face. On to the reading. Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your November soul session. I am Princess India. If you are new and if you're family, welcome back, my friend and whatnot, or whatever. If you are not familiar with what a soul session is, it is my spirituality and personal development readings in which we look at the energies that you guys may encounter for this particular month and any advice we can give you that can help you on your overall growth journey. You know what I'm saying? Whatnot, whatever. So let's go ahead and get into your cards, my friend. Let's see what is going on for my Pisces peoples. For November, we have our central energy, a challenge, our above energy, our below energy, a past influence, and then our future possibilities. Let me straighten these up. Goodness gracious, these are all crooked. All right, at the bottom of your deck, oh, it's always nice. At the bottom of your deck, we have the Justice card. That's Libra energy. It's very fascinating. And we're talking about good old cause and effect, the law of the harvest, all the things that I talked about a great deal in the Aquarius video. Actually, this actually came up in their extended, but I spoke about that a great deal. But what it's looking like, you guys undergirding energy for the month of November. Suddenly things just got heavy. There's a sense of disorder, if I would say, borderlining on dysfunction, but I use that term lightly. It's just more or less in the order of things, something is not working out as it should. And it sounds really crazy saying that because the vibe I get with it is weird. How could I explain this? It's almost like the process that something is following in you guys' life right now. It's, well, not the process itself. I would say more or less expectation is what I want to say. So it's kind of following the order of something that's not typically normal. Just stick with me, Pisces. But it's like following the order of something that's not typically normal. And I use that term lightly still. Let me just give you an example of something that would kind of make sense. Like, okay, the natural order of like a relationship would be, you meet, you go on dates, you know what I'm saying? And of course, this is hypothetical because not everyone's relationship ends up this way. But it's like you meet someone, you talk for a little bit, you go on a first date, second date, third date, after a while, it's just like, oh, we should be in a relationship. And then you're in a relationship and then you date for like, a year to a couple of years and you get engaged and then you get married and then you get divorced. I'm totally kidding about the divorce part. So funny. But that's totally possible with the justice in the reverse. Neither here nor there. But it's like that would be the natural order of things, hypothetically. So to give you a hint of the vibration that I'm feeling, it's almost something as wild as either meeting today and getting married tomorrow, or like meeting today and getting divorced tomorrow. Because it's like, how do you get divorced if you were never married? That makes no sense. But that's like the vibration I'm picking up from this. So just to kind of tease that out, it's something via my Pisces expectation that is following an order that isn't natural. Like, one can't expect a divorce when you've never been on a date or never married the person, if that's making sense. Now, I'm not saying that's literally what's happening. That's just the energy that's influencing a lot of what's going on this month. So our central energy, we have the Five of Pentacles. This is challenged by the Sun card, and that's Leo energy. And your past influence is the Tower, which is Mars energy and Scorpio energy. Okay. This is interesting. Okay. All right. Okay, Pisces. I'm trying to get my thoughts together. It's almost as if there's something, and it's still this whole, y'all forgive me, because when I talk about this underlying energy of how this doesn't make sense, it's more of that here. It's like the vibe I get coming out of October into November. It's almost as if something ended before it began, hence being divorced before you're ever married. That is so strange. And now coming into November, it's the Five of Pentacles, where one is feeling as if they're left out in the cold. This is so fascinating. And a tad bit concerning, because what this would look like to me, Pisces, and I'm not saying this is related to a romantic relationship, it could be, but I mean, this has elements of like fantasy in it, if that makes sense. This is so ironic. It's almost, if you think about, like, because I'm thinking about teenage girls, right? And I think about like how teenage girls will meet like a boy, and they're like writing their first name and the guy's last name and stuff like that. And like, you met the dude yesterday, but I mean, they're teenagers. So I mean, that's what teenagers do. I did it when I was a teenager, played a little bit of MASH, things of the sort. But this still same energy vibration here, it's almost as if something occurred towards the ending of October, coming into November, that offered my Pisces a sense of clarity, right? Like the truth about this whole situation, the truth about what's really going on. And I feel with this justice in the reverse, it's like, it's almost like it existed in your head. You know what I mean? If this is related to a person, it would be kind of like I said, playing out your whole future together, and you met yesterday, and then it's like you find out some sort of truth about the person, and then it becomes very clear. And now it's like this whole, feeling downtrodden and emotionally bankrupt and things of the sort. But I feel the most important part of it goes back to the justice in the reverse, which is more or less, it was a miscalculation. And I don't know why using relationship examples is the easiest thing for me to make sense of that. I mean, even if we thought about this in the sense of like a job or money or something, it's just, and I'm trying to be very careful with the terminology, because all the words that are coming to me are words that have actual definitions, but sometimes can be taken out of context. But it's almost like being a tad deluded, you know what I mean? And not speaking to anything like mental illness related. It's just kind of like being in denial, you know what I mean? It's like a very fanciful fairy tale kind of mindset that I'm seeing here. But whatever the case, clarity came in reference to that, and it's feeling bad about it. But the whole point that I'm trying to drive home here, Pisces, is it was a miscalculation in the beginning. So it's kind of like going back to my example of, God, I really hope this makes sense. But going back to my example of like meeting someone today and grieving over like a divorce tomorrow when you've never dated and you've never gotten married, it's like that's the central energy that I'm feeling. It's like in one's head or in one's expectations, you and this person were married, you got divorced in your head, you know, or your expectations or whatever, or this is just like a desire you had or something. And that would probably make more sense to me because I know the human mind is very powerful, right? Just like I talked about teenage girls fantasizing and things, adults do the same exact thing. And, you know, no disrespect, because I mean, they got teenage boys that might fantasize too, but that's neither here nor there. But adults do it too. But you can fantasize about something or daydream about something so much in your mind that you'll start to feel it for real. You know what I'm saying? Because your brain really doesn't know the difference between like an actual memory and experience and what it is you fantasize about, which is why, you know, visualization works so well in manifestation and whatnot. And when that's in accordance with your emotions and everything. But that's kind of what it feels like to me, Pisces. It's like, whatever this is, whether it's a relationship, a person, a job, it's almost as if one was in a place in their mental space, right? And one got lost in the desire or lost in the dream. I feel how spirit helped you out was with this tower moment where it was like, whoa, wake up, like, hey, you know. But the only thing that's concerning is that in present energy with the Five of Pentacles, I don't want to say like grieving, but it's almost feeling like cheated over something that never actually happened. So it's like feeling disappointed and cheated over an experience that you misjudged. And it's like the truth came out. The challenge for this month would be more or less embracing the truth of the situation. So it's almost like having gone through something and this is so strange. This is making me think about an episode of American Dad, believe it or not. It's like Stan had a friend that he ran into from childhood. This is very much in alignment with what I'm saying. People just follow me. These readings have been really weird. But he had a friend from childhood that he went trick-or-treating with. And the kid got like surrounded by bullies. And the bullies asked Stan, like, hey, do you know this kid? And he's like, oh, no, I don't know him. I'm not with him, right? And he got like beat up, right? And, you know, he ends up running into him years later. And he's like trying to help the guy because he feels like it's his fault this guy's life is in the state that it's in. Long story short, he realizes that he twisted the memory. It's like the guy finally tells him like, hey, I only hung out with you because I felt bad for you, because he was like, the truth is, he was like, I wasn't the one that got beat up that night, you were. And he was like, the moment he said that, he has a flashback and he remembers it the way it actually happened, which was he got surrounded by the neighborhood kids. They asked his friend if he knew him, and he's like, no, I'm not with him. And he's like all sad and depressed and stuff like that, right? But that's very similar to what it is that I'm seeing. It's almost like whatever it is that really happened, it's almost like disassociating from that and recreating the memory. You know what I'm saying? It's recreating the memory, or it's believing something is something that it isn't. But it's like every example I have of that, it only goes back to like relationships, dude. That is so wild. Because I can't think of any scenario in which that would happen outside of relationships. Or even like if you're dating someone and you think they're gonna leave their wife or husband, and it's very clear that they wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Which makes me think of Marilyn Monroe. It's the second time she's come up. Like her, well, I don't know if this really happened, but it was in one of her little movies or whatever, but it was like this belief that she thought that JFK was going to leave his wife. It's kind of like the president of the United States probably would not leave their wife, you know, not while they're in office, at least. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's something on that scale. In Pisces, this is wild. We have the Nine of Cups in the reverse, and you guys underlying energy, your above energy. We have the World in the reverse, and that's Saturn energy. And of course, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius energy. I don't know what to say about this. With the Nine of Cups in the reverse and your underlying energy, like this is where we're getting into the emotional sadness. It's really feeling jilted. It's really feeling taken advantage of. It's feeling just completely disappointed. But it's kind of scary for me because it's feeling all of these emotions for something that never really happened. I don't know. I feel so strange about this. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles going forward. This is so strange, man. I don't know what to say about this. Like, it's just the whole vibe I get from this. Like, I legit want to, where's my after tarot? I want to, I don't know. I don't even know what to even say about this, because it's just the whole energy vibe that I feel feels really strange. And it's strange to me to the point where it's like I would have to say I may have to do another Pisces reading, dude, because this feels too centralized to kind of like one person. I don't think a whole massive group of Pisces people are like living in a dream state or something. But it's like, it's concerning for me. And the reason why it's like, I'm being so careful on how I speak because I don't want to offend anyone. But for real, in real life, this is very concerning for me. Like if a person was doing stuff like this, it's alarming because, you know, it's one thing for, you know, a teenager to like have a crush on a celebrity and be like, oh, we're going to get married one day. Like that's one thing. But it's like with an adult, this is very concerning for me because it's like, it's deeper than lying to yourself. Like this is, it's kind of scary. And especially with the challenge being the Sun card, it's like it's needing to see the truth because it's like, this would be somebody who's imprisoned by lies they tell themselves about their past that aren't true. You know? It's like the way you remember a lot of stuff in your life is not accurate. And the thing that would be stopping this person from moving forward or them just feeling hella disappointed in life and keeping them in a space of always waiting for things to change is they're not in reality. And that's really concerning for me. That's really concerning for me. I'm gonna have to do a whole nother Pisces reading, dude. I think this is just about to be this is just about to be a bonus. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't really know if this would be considered a bonus. I mean, I really don't know about that. But this feels like a message. And you know what's interesting? This really feels like a message. Like if I were doing a personal reading right now, it's like, because the vibration that I'm in when I do a personal reading is very different than when I do them for YouTube. It's just like, I don't know, it's a frequency thing for me. Because I think like when I read for YouTube, it feels like my spidey senses are like everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm reading for one person, it's just one focal point. And what I'm seeing, and especially since it keeps coming back to relationships, It feels almost as if I'm reading for one person. But however, for this to come out like this must just be a message for somebody out there that really needs it. So, I mean, I'm just going to post it anyway, but I'm not going to do like an extended for this or anything, because I don't really feel like this is the collective Pisces energy. I mean, when I do the other reading and it ends up being the same thing, because y'all know that be happening with me too. And I'd be like, I know you lying. They used to happen with Libra a lot. I used to be like, this cannot be the Libra reading. And then I turn off the camera, turn it back on, and I'm like, oh my God, that really is the Libra reading. But we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and clarify this and and see what's going on with this dude, because, and I'm saying this and I'm not trying to be facetious, I'm not trying to be condescending or anything of the sort. It's like, wholeheartedly, if this were someone I was talking to, I would be very concerned for them, because this is teeter-tottering on a very serious problem. And the fact that one is not, it's being delusional would be the word. You know what I mean? It would be being very delusional when it's coming to the point that a person disassociates so much that you're starting to recreate memories. I understand why, because it would have to be something that's, you know, traumatizing. You know what I mean? Just like I was saying with the whole American Dad situation, it's like something is too difficult to accept, so you tell yourself another story. You tell yourself a whole nother scenario of what happened in order to process it. Or sometimes we'll just block it out entirely. You know what I mean? So let's see. Clarifying the 5 of Pentacles, we have the 9 of Cups. Clarifying the, and I don't read the after tarot in the reverse, BTW. With the Tower card, we have the 8 of Pentacles, clarifying it. With the 9 of Cups in the reverse, we have the Temperance, clarifying it. Clarifying the 7 of Pentacles, we have the King of Cups, and clarifying the World reverse, we have the 10 of Cups. Oh, this is fascinating. All right. Ew. Ew. Okay. This is interesting. So I'm gonna tell you what I see. What I see is what this Pisces person sees. This Pisces person feels, and I'm just gonna go ahead and call it, dude, because this is Wild Magnolia. I really do believe this was a soul session. It clearly is not anymore. I don't know what is going on in your love life to where, like, y'all done just hijacked the Pisces reading. I don't know your life. I don't know what you're going through, but hey, I am a messenger and I'm here for you, my friend. So what this is looking like is a Pisces person, or Pisces, maybe somebody you know, I don't know. But their perception of this situation is the two of you are working really, really hard to come together into a connection or a partnership. You know what I'm saying? And it feels almost as if, I will put a period at the end of the sentence with November. It's almost as if a promise was made and a person thought that around this time, going into the end of this year, that things were going to change between the two of you. So this person was under the perception, I don't know if they were misled or if, like, you know, like meeting the person was telling them this, or they just made this up in their own head. But this person was under this perception that two people were working towards something. So all the work that was being done for the purpose of coming together, right? If this resonates in a work situation, business situation, throw yourself in here, right? But then the Tower happens, right? When we talk about this Tower card, this is like somewhere around maybe the middle to the end of October, I would say, right? With Saturn in the reverse, the World card in the reverse being here, we can also take that back to the end of September if you want, you know. And the whole premise is this Pisces person, or whoever the heck it is I'm talking about, was thinking that they were working towards something so two people or a group or whatever could come together so that wishes could be fulfilled and things, potentially having a family together, you know, all this good old stuff like wholesomeness and balance and working together and equilibrium and things of the sort. And if I were to say with who, it would be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Right? If I were to look at the cards that we have here, we have two cards that represent Scorpio twice. You know what I'm saying? So this very well can involve a Scorpio person, but we also have Leo energy here twice. With the Temperance, we have Sagittarius energy. And then of course we have Taurus and we have Aquarius. But just looking at, you know, the doubling up, it's Leo and Scorpio that are the most prominent here, right? So it's more or less this thought of the work was being done to get to this particular person or to be with this particular person, right? But I feel that that wasn't actually the case, because it's like the cards I have on top, this feels like this is what one thought was happening, and the cards that are underneath it is what actually happened. You know, so it's almost like someone was working towards something, thinking that it was going to be one way, and one realized coming into November that what you thought was going to happen isn't going to happen. And this Pisces person or whoever it is I'm talking about is stuck and questioning, I don't know why, how did this happen? Why would they leave? You know, and it's like still waiting for this person or this opportunity to return, because it's just not seeing how this could have possibly happened. But I feel it started off with a misjudgment of this situation. So that's why I say it's like I can see how this could potentially involve another person who intentionally misled you. Like I can see how that's possible. But with the challenge being the Sun card, that would suggest to me that on some level or another, it was possible for you to know this, because there's more or less, there were red flags leading up to this. So if I were to ground this a little bit and take this out of the mindset of someone being like delusional, this would just be someone who was stuck in a fantasy and just so involved in this fanciful just mindset type of deal or dreams of what could be, that they weren't being realistic and practical, which goes back to this justice in the reverse. Or even that example that I gave from the Marilyn Monroe movie. It's like, realistically, if a person is grounded and sober-minded and were to look at this situation, it would be pretty clear that it was kind of outlandish to think that this would have happened the way that one was expecting it to happen, right? Like it just wouldn't make sense. It's something about it, like I was saying in the beginning, that's just completely out of order. You know what I mean? It's like, it just was very unrealistic. And the whole challenge with this would be needing to see the truth about this situation, you know, because it's kind of beating oneself up and feeling downtrodden and down and like not understanding how such a thing could have happened. And it's like, this came out of nowhere, but this is saying that this really did not come out of nowhere. And if you were really sober-minded and grounded, you would have seen that this wasn't what you really wanted it to be. So it's almost like turning a blind eye, which is what I might actually name this. It's like turning a blind eye to this situation. And then you have the Six of Pentacles in the reverse at the bottom of the deck. So dude, this is like, this is a dyad. It's like what's really happening and what one thinks was happening or believed was happening are two totally different things on two totally different sides of the spectrum. But the only consistency that I see with this, and the thing that I feel could be the deliverance for whoever this is that I'm talking to, would be going back and revisiting this situation, not like literally revisiting it, but I mean really being honest with yourself and looking at it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? And unearthing what that misjudgment was. you know? And it's reminding me, I believe that was Aquarius I was saying this in. With Aquarius, I was speaking a lot about intentions and rechecking one's motives and not taking that as a negative thing. But it's like what it is that you really wanted, you know? Because I was forewarning Aquarius of something that they don't want to accept, something that they don't want to face, right? And an opportunity coming that's like a snake oil salesman almost, right? That's going to fill that void for them, you know? And this is very similar to me with the Piscean energy, in the fact that it's like, it's almost looking for someone to rescue you. Like if you think about a person who, and this is all about relationships, dog. If you think about a person who, you know, desperately wants to be married, right? Like desperately wants to be married. And they, like the first person they meet, they're just like ready to marry the person, and the person just got out of prison because they killed 13 people and they just got paroled. And it's like, you know, old girl is just all like, oh, you know, he really didn't kill 13 people, da 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 da, he's innocent. And it's like just blocking a whole bunch of stuff out and pretending like this is not happening. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, then the dude just starts disappearing for long hours at the end of the night, coming back soaking wet with blood on him. You know what I'm saying? With like a whole kidnapper kit. And he's saying, oh, you know, I hit a deer. You know what I mean? It's like, it's that kind of vibe. And it's being like, oh, of course, he totally hit a deer, even though deers are not native to this area. Who's to say that there's not deers just roaming around, you know? It's like that kind of vibe. And I feel it's because the person, they really want this. And there's nothing wrong with wanting that, but it's needing to see the truth about this situation or this person, because you're not. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing what it is that you want to see, and you're turning a blind eye to what's really happening. And just this feeling of unrest that I get, dude, it's concerning for me. And like I said, I'm not saying that in a condescending or derogatory manner. It's just, if I were to sit down in front of this person and have a conversation, I would be very, very concerned, because this can get a person into a lot of trouble. You know what I'm saying? And put you in very dangerous situations, you know? And still overall, like I said, the challenge being the Sun card, the need is to see the truth about this, because whoever this is, they're not, you know? And this can, like I said, get you into very dangerous situations. I understand what you want, but what's really happening are two very, you know, different things. And it's a need to see that. Ciao. Yeah, so this is a sort of kind of bonus. I'm just gonna post it. You know, y'all let me know what you think. I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. I love your face. You're welcome, I guess. You know, on second thought, I'm back. I'm about to do this extended for this right here, because I'm just nosy and I need to understand what the heck is happening in America with this. This is the same spread that I do over on Vimeo and all my member platforms. And Princess just needs to know. And I take both of these from the bottom of the deck. So we have the Justice card and we have the Seven of Cups in the reverse. Well, I mean, okay. Need a little bit of clarity going on here. So we have the Moon. We have, and this is a 9-card spread. We have the Moon, we have the Four of Wands, we have the Three of Cups, and we have the Two of Wands in the reverse. Oh my goodness. Okay, so with this Moon being here, this is more or less saying to me even more so of there being a lack of clarity in reference to this situation, this connection, whatever this is. And it's more or less projecting what one wants or desired onto the situation, as opposed to seeing it in the light of day, proverbially speaking. So I'm seeing this Moon contrasted to the Sun card, you know, and that's the purpose for why this person, whoever it is I'm talking about, is having difficulty moving forward, because it's not wanting to let go the untruth of the situation. It's really wanting to hold on to this sense of being left out in the cold and abandoned. But the thing that I'm saying with this that is still really concerning for me, dude, this would almost be like, there's so many TV shows. There's an episode of Dr. Phil where there's this young girl who believed that this other young woman was like her twin flame or something. Like, they didn't use that terminology, but the way that they were describing it, I was like, oh, she thinks she her twin flame. And literally, I think the girl had tweeted something and the other girl had retweeted her tweet. And because this girl retweeted her tweet, she started feeling like she looked at her page and like felt like they were meant to be together. So she felt like with everything that she tweeted, like when she put up song lyrics or, you know, whatever, when she posted a picture, she felt like they were secret messages to her. And she wholeheartedly believed that this was happening. She felt that she was sending her telepathic messages. So like if a shirt would move in her closet, she said that that's her way of telling her that she loves her and things of the sort. And the girl's parents bought her on Dr. Phil, and the woman came to tell her, like, I don't know you, and these are not secret messages to you. And the girl still refused to believe it. She's like, you're just saying that because we're in front of all these people, and like, you don't want people to know that you're a lesbian and da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? So it was like a whole ordeal. That's literally the vibe that I'm getting with this. Because still with this 3 of Cups and this 4 of Wands up here, it's more or less everything that was happening in this connection. It was this whole thought of there being some sense of stability, security, you know, happiness, joy. If you look at it as like marriage and celebrations and things of the sort. And it's with this 2 of Wands, this person having trouble moving forward from that. It's like, and I can't stress enough, dude, it's really like, and I said this in a reading before too, it was one of the cross watcher only readings. I can't recall if it was Capricorn or not, or was it Aquarius? I can't recall who it was, but it was from October. But I was saying that it was like a person who was refusing to believe, it might have been Aquarius, a person who was refusing to believe that this person is not their soulmate. They don't care if the person gets married, they have 11 kids, they don't care what anybody says. It's like they refuse to accept without the shadow of a doubt that this is the person that I'm supposed to be with despite what's happening in 3D. It's like they nullify all of that. It's like regardless of what's happening in 3D, it's not about that. It's about what it is that I know spiritually. And that's the same exact vibe I'm getting with this. It's like everything this person has done, despite them getting clarity, because I can even say with this 2 of Wands in the reverse and this Tower card here, I mean, all of this, the Moon card, the Tower card, the 3 of Cups here, in this 2 of Wands, this is all speaking to energy in October. So this is like, this is somewhere around like the new moon to the full moon that was in Taurus. So like the middle of October into the end of October is when I feel like it was made very clear to this person. But it's like, despite what has been made clear to them, they're not accepting any other truth other than what it is that they want to believe. So again, going back to what I was saying with the Justice in the reverse, like a person who is grieving over a divorce for a relationship they were never in and a marriage that never happened, that's very much what this energy feels like to me. With the 7 of Cups in the reverse, there's a need for this person, again, to get out of their head and to get back into reality. And again, with the challenge being the Sun card, a need to see the truth about the situation. Like this person, especially with the 5 of Pentacles being in the center, It's like, this is like a form of learned helplessness. It's like, this is a situation that can be rectified. This person has the power and the ability to rectify it, but they're making a conscious choice to refuse to accept what the truth is about this situation. And they're still very much invested in waiting for things to shift and for things to change. It's like, whoever this person is, they're literally still waiting for stuff to work out. But with this Seven of Cups, it's a need for clarity, but it being reversed is saying this person is deeply entrenched into a delusion and refusing to accept it. Ciao. This is a lot. I'm not going to say this is the whole Pisces reading, but you know, like I said, I'm nosy, so I had to finish playing that out. But I love your face. Y'all let me know about this in the comments, because I need to know these things. Because child, you let me know in the comments if this is your cousin, your neighbor. I need to know. Okay, I love your face.